Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to a some assemblage required video combined with mixed media mayhem, where our recipe is watercolor, splatter, and distressed edges. I'm also combining it with color Craze, so I am using a color palette that MK and I chose for this week, or for today, and I'm combining it with series 13 of Christie's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. This sketch is from Jessica Fenn Hill, and this is actually day 2's sketch. I just happened to be doing it today because first of all, I really love the sketch, and I totally forgot to do the sketches for the first week. And it worked really well with my photos. So it actually worked better for my photos than the current one for today. And I also felt like it had a great, excuse me, a great layout for mixed media. So I am just starting with some Daniel Smith watercolors. I am using the Primatex set, and this is the amethyst color that is in that set. I have just put it onto some packaging. I'm using the packaging technique to kind of color up these two corners. I feel like this purple works really well with the photos that I've chosen. I am actually just documenting the little guy's feet that I take care of. I know, kind of seems funny, but you know, they grow so fast. And actually, these are not even his newborn little feet. These are his several months old little feet. And I kind of wish I would have taken the photos when he was smaller, and I know his mom was feeling the same way. So I thought, you know what, I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to go ahead and do it and get pictures. She will appreciate the fact that we got pictures of him at least prior to 6 months old. So this color palette has kind of a goldish brown kind of color in the palette. It's got 3 different shades. So I pulled out my Ancient Media Gloss. That is the name of the color. It's not really old. It's just called Ancient. And that is giving me the lighter color of splatter that I want. And then I also pulled out some Nuvo Sparkle Spray in Chocolate. I think it's called Chocolate. I'll put links down below for the products that I'm using in case that's something that you're interested in. And so I just used those as splatter across the mixed media areas of these of this paper in the corners, and I'm really liking the way that that is looking. I also pulled out this older Jen Hadfield paper. It's a really dark purple kind of color. It goes really well with the mixed media that I did because the purples are very similar. And it's kind of like a tone on tone. Well, it is a tone on tone, but it kind of reads almost like a solid when you're only showing the edges. So I'm going to use that as my background paper. I am using this grid stamp from Tailored Expressions. I don't think this is available anymore. It's a great stamp. I really like it. And so I'm really thrilled to be using it, but I don't think it's available. If I can find it, I'll put a link below too. I like that it is also kind of a distressed grid. And I'm just using archival ink from Ranger to go ahead and put that down. It is a permanent ink, so anything I put over the top is not going to matter if it gets wet. If I add more mixed media, which I'm not currently planning to do, but you never know. You can see that it is pretty permanent because it has dried on my media mat, which nothing is really supposed to stick to. In order to clean that off, I just put a little hand sanitizer on it and go ahead and start wiping, and it wipes right off. Otherwise, it is a little bit difficult to get it off without that hand sanitizer. I'm sure some alcohol wipes would work as well. The centerpiece of this paper, I'm going to add it back, but I want to have the break in the papers show because I want that dark, rich purple from the background to show through. And so I am just tearing off about a 1/2 inch on each side of this paper, following the line of where it was already torn, because I want it to look like it's just like a chasm and it came apart. You know, it's not a very deep chasm because it's just 2 pieces of paper, but it kind of has that effect. And I really like that. Rather than like layering up another sheet of paper underneath, I thought this was a different way to do it. And so I wanted to go ahead and play on that. I did use my distress tool from Some Assemblage Required to rough up all of the edges, and I really like the way that that looks. It gives it lots of texture and dimension, and it makes me pretty happy. The sketch, or the color palette that we are using, also has this blue in it within the peacock feather. So I'm going to go ahead and use some of these blue papers, and then I did sprinkle some Calypso Teal Dilutions Shimmer Spray right over the top of the mixed media to bring in some of that blue in the background. So I am going to start with another Jen Hadfield paper. This is from the same collection as that other one. That is my background paper. It's from Heart of Home. And this one has text on it. Again, tone on tone. You're not going to be able to see the text once I cut it. It reads like a solid as well because only little tiny bits are showing. And so I'm going to go ahead and use that. And then I will layer that beautiful blue paper underneath that has the florals on it. And you're not going to see a ton of the floral because obviously the photo is going to cover a lot of it, but you get the colors peeking out, and it also plays off of that white border that I've already got going on and my white background. So I really like the way that that looks. That paper is from Studio Tekturek, and I'm not probably saying that correctly. I think it's a Polish company. Tekturek? I don't know. Anyway, I've had that in my stash for quite a while, and I really like it. I think it's really cool. And so I'm going to go ahead and use that as my next paper layer, and I'm going to rough up the edges of it, just like I did on the background. And then I just have this piece that is this purple and polka dot. I only have a small portion of it, so I'm going to put it on opposing corners. These will be the corners that are overlapping the white paper in the background rather than the mixed media portion. Hopefully that makes sense. You can see it there. It just gives it another little layer of that darker purple color, but it also brings in more of the blue because it does have the polka dot, and I think it looks really good. So I'm pretty happy with that. I did pull out my Chamel stickers from her latest collection, Main Character Energy, and I am going to pull in a little bit of yellow. Now our color Craze doesn't really have yellow in it, but I'm going to just go with it because it does have the blue that I need in it, and the yellow is kind of minimal. It kind of plays off of the browns that are in there. I am also using this wood veneer, which also plays off of the brownish gold colors that are in the inspiration piece. And then I'm going to bring in some of these blue flowers. I'm also bringing in the little acrylic white piece that says Grow on it. That is from some Assemblage Required, as is the little ruler there. And I think that's super cute. I think it's going to be adorable on this page. A baby layout that's not super baby-ish. And I think, I don't know, it just makes me happy because sometimes the baby stuff is, I don't know, it feels too babyish to me. And I don't know. I think this little cloud that says Sweet Little works really well too, because that kind of feels like a nod to baby without going overboard. And then that little tiny circular piece that is by the sun actually says Tiny Toes, and I thought that was super cute. So I'm going to use that as well. I did have this blue piece of paper. It was a 4x6 piece that I had just put some leftover mixed media on that was blue. So I took that white paper, I ran it through my border punch that has a notebook paper, and I'm sticking it to the bottom right photo on the right hand side. And I'm using a little leftover piece of it to back a couple of the little the bar graphs. I don't want to use the acrylic pieces in all of those bar graphs because he's not fully grown. And so I felt like I didn't want them to be super dark either. So I'm going to just fill in the biggest 3 bar graphs with this background paper. So brings in the blue over to this other corner. And then I will use 2 of those smallest pieces of the acrylic to fill back in the growth chart. So it fills in 2 of the bar graphs. Hopefully I explained that well. I have also added a couple butterflies out of the Some Assemblage Required shop. I pulled in 2 purples and 1 blue. I'm not going to add a 4th one. I kind of wanted it to kind of pull your eye from the bottom photo up across the 4 photos and then back up the top. So I'm not adding a 4th butterfly, and I kind of like the way that it looks. So I'm going to go with it just like that. I used some glue dots to adhere those butterflies down, and I'm just using my acrylic block to kind of hold things in place while the liquid glue sets up. I am adding a bit of foam to the back of this piece, or this sticker that goes across the wood veneer here, so that it has a little bit of extra support. I don't want those stickers to kind of get pushed down onto the page and bent, because they are lifted up on the wood veneer. So I think that looks really good. I'm really happy with the way that this is turning out. Don't forget to check out what MK has going on. Also check out the Mixed Media Mayhem scrapbooking group. The link to that is down below. You can go to the albums and find more inspiration using this same recipe in the albums. So go to the albums section and look up the recipe for today, and you'll find more inspiration there. And don't forget, there is a playlist for series 13 of Christy's Beautiful Life down below as well, so that you can find inspiration using today's sketch by Jessica Hill. And or actually, you will find it for day 2, because this is actually day 2's sketch. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and don't mind that I am a little out of order on my sketches. And if you have questions or comments, you can leave those down below. I will get back to you as quickly as I can. Thank you so much for watching and spending time with me today, you guys. I really appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed this one, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you guys again on Sunday with another video. So come back then, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.